Welcome to PMP Educator. This is Project Integration Management Series, lecture number 4. Um, this is the third process in the project integration management. After we have the project management plan, we are going to start working on the project. So we are in the execution phase, and the process we have is direct and manage project execution process. The inputs for this process are project management plan, which we have as an output in the previous process where we created the project management plan. And also, since we are working in the execution phase, we will have deliverables, and those deliverables might need some changes. So we need to incorporate those changes as we iterate through this phase. So the input for this process is also approve change request. So any changes which are required for these deliverables uh, would be used as an input, and we need to have approved change request. We will go through this briefly in next slide. And also two inputs which are required for the direct and managed project execution process are enterprise environmental factors and organization process assets, and we have discussed those extensively in the previous lectures. Tools and techniques for the execution process are expert judgment and project and management information system. Expert judgment, as I mentioned, is used a lot in the project management processes, and this is in fact the expert judgment of a group of people, or can be a certain person who is working on a certain deliverable, and it can also be help from outside the team. Project management information system is the information system used to manage the project. So it is typically a computer system, management information system, a software-based system which is used to manage the project. And it can be a paper-based system. It is not necessary that it should always be a computer-based system, but these days project management information systems are computer and software-based. The output for this process are deliverables, because it is obvious that since you are in execution process phase, the output is one of the output is the concrete product or the deliverable. Then we also have work process performance information. This is the information which you get while you're working on your execution phase, and you know that how the work was performed. So say if you are in the execution phase of building a house, you know that what was how was the performance, how was the performance during the building process. This also contains, like, earned value techniques and some other techniques which we will discuss in the next lectures. But at this time, you just need to understand that whenever you are in the execution phase, it's the output is the deliverable, but also you document that how the work was performed, whether the performance was on time, and the performance was up to the quality standards and stuff like those. Change request, as I mentioned, this is an iterative process. So you have change request. You will go this process many times in the execution phase. So the output, one of the output is change request, and those change requests will go through the change request board, and if they are approved, then it comes here again as approved change request, and then we start building again with the new or modified deliverables, and then we go through this loop or iteration till we have the desired deliverables. Two more outputs are project management plan update. As we modify things, then we also need to modify the project management plan to update it and to put the correct information that what exact modification we did and what changes were required to update the deliverables. And the last output is the project document updates, which are also the related documents which you use in the project management and also in putting the information in the organization process assets. So a change request is a change in the plan project path. So say if your project path is just going straight, you have a detour where you add some new features, or as the project progresses, you you think about some new features which should be incorporated, or some new features which are requested by the customer. A change control board is a group of stakeholders, and a change request board decide whether the change needs to be approved or denied. So basically, whenever a change is suggested, it is discussed by the change request board, and they go through the details of the change and decide whether it makes sense to incorporate those changes, or the changes are too out of a scope, or it will cost more, or it will be expensive and time consuming. So they can decide whether it's critical to incorporate those changes or not. So they have the authority to approve or deny the change request. Project management plans updates are actually are the updates which you do in the plan based on some baseline. So initially in the planning phase, you have a project baseline which is updated after an approved change request. So you change your baseline, you scale that for example, if you have 10 features in your project scope for a certain project, and later on with the change request you added 2 more features, then the baseline of your project scope has changed from 10 features to 12 features. So you keep updating your baseline as you go through your process. Project management information system is a system that keeps track of the status of all the project tasks, which I mentioned is used as a tool in this process. And work performance information is a bellwether for the future direction of the project. So if you find that the performance is not up to expectation, or if it's costing more, or it's slow compared to the schedule you plan, then you think that you need to add some extra resource or extra money. So basically, work performance information gives you some hint about the future direction of the project, and we will go through this in more details when we will discuss the earned value techniques and other techniques. So typically, cost and a schedule are monitored in the work performance information. And that's it for this fourth lecture. Thank you.